Mr. Emerson, next question.
Yeah, these are a series of audience questions that really get to what folks think these days about Congress. Probably held in, about the same esteem as journalists these days, I guess. So, forgive me, Congressman Hurt, you first. It's a series of questions.
Okay. You gonna ask them one at a time?
No, I'm just going to throw them all at you.
All right.
Is it fair that members of Congress have Cadillac health care plans and qualify for pensions after just 5 years of service? What would the founding fathers think? Did they regard politics as a career? And what do you think about the idea of term limits, which of course would require a constitutional amendment?
Well, the first thing I'd say is and I'm going to quote my friend Mark Warner, who said when he was asked the same question about the popularity of Congress, he said, "I'd like to know who that 13% is that thinks they're doing a good job." Listen, Congress has got the reputation it deserves. There's no question about it. I would like to think that, that the fact that I was elected a year and a half ago to go up and solve certain problems, that is creating an atmosphere in this country where we have full employment and we balance our budget and we pay down this debt, that's my number one objective. That's my number one objective. And I haven't didn't run for office to make this a career. I went up there to solve the problems for ourselves and for our children and our grandchildren. When you think about some of the laws that you mentioned in terms of the health care that we receive, I think there are probably some myths about what members of Congress get, what they don't get. I'm a federal employee. I get the same insurance that anybody that works in my office gets, which is an employee-based health care plan. That certainly seems to me that people can decide whether or not I deserve that or whether or not members of Congress deserve that, but that's what it is. With respect to what our founders would think, I don't know what our founders would think. I think they would be very dismayed to know that we've gotten ourselves into this situation where we have borrowed $16 trillion. We're borrowing 40 cents on every dollar that we do to support ourselves, and I think that they would be dismayed by that. I would always like to I think of one of my favorite Virginians, George Washington. There's a painting in the rotunda in the Capitol that pictures him at the end of his time as the commander-in-chief of the forces of the Revolutionary Army, surrendering his commission back to the civil authorities. And I think that all of us in Congress should serve with that same sense of humility.
Thank you, Congressman.
So what about you personally? Were the people to re-elect you, how long do you plan to stay in Congress?
I don't have. I'd like to be there long enough to get the job done. And I mean that with all sincerity. I don't have a design to make this a career. I know my wife. I don't mean to speak for her, but I think that she would like for me not to make this a career. But I can tell you this. It's important work. This is an important time to be there, and it's so important. It's so important that we have good people who will do it. Because, as you said, there's a lot of people up there who are there for the wrong reasons. I will tell you that I am not.
To answer your question directly, I do believe in term limits. I'll take a 4-term limit pledge. I think the health care system for Congress should be no more than all federal employees, and to the degree that it's better or more deluxe than, say, somebody that works in the Pentagon, a civilian employee at the Pentagon, or someone at a Commerce Department or whatever, it should be scaled back to same level as other government employees. And I believe this paying people for retirement pension after 5 years of service is a travesty. And if there was some way we could roll that back, I'd be in favor of that. And this goes back to campaign finance reform. Most Americans understand that what is happening in our political system today is becoming more and more dysfunctional because of career politicians and because of money. It's money and career politicians. They stay there so long they begin to believe that they own the job and they don't work for the people. It's time for us to move back to some more basics in public service. And, you know, you just, all you have to do is look at the House today. And, you know, we're not attracting our best and brightest into these jobs. This is hard. Campaigning is tough. And you know, this may be something that the Congressman and I agree on. But it's time for us to hold the House accountable. And they can start by, you know, taking some term limit pledges and getting their health care in line with other federal employees, and get rid of these cushy. Who else gets to retire after 5 years? Anybody in this room get a retirement check after 5 years? I don't think so.